Peace in from the black holes of Dakota Territory, United States of Attitude. Stan Gibilisco here. I have a little bit of a conundrum, but it will also serve as some advice to those of you who are getting medical bills from diverse and various entities. And anybody who's receiving a lot of serious medical care is probably having the same experience. There's one particular provider that seems to resort to tactics that seem almost as if its purpose is to confuse me into overpaying. It sends me bills that are premature, inaccurate. It sends them to the wrong town, and then calls me. And last night I got a robocall from this agency that I'd never heard of, saying that I owed a certain amount of money. And it only was $85, so it wasn't like it was going to break the bank. But I thought, these people are, and they were trying to get me to pay online. They gave me a website with a recorded voice, and you can tell when these voices are recorded bit by bit, syllable by syllable. And I tried to call them and just got a runaround. I got nothing but a runaround. I could not identify who was making these charges, or they did give me dates of service, and I managed to finally track down two of them as legitimate charges, one of which, however, had already been paid by insurance. So I was very angry, and I called them today during business hours and got out the address straightened out for the third time with these people. And then I managed to have them discover that now that they knew the correct address, two of those four charges were nullified because they had in fact been paid by insurance, which I already had traced down by going through all of the records. And that's another thing. Keep every explanation of benefits from your insurance company. Keep every bill you receive from every entity. When you pay in full by check, write down the date, the check number, the institution on which you drew the check, and also the amount and everything else. All of the detail, keep it. And keep it until the day you die. Hopefully, it'll be later rather than sooner, although with entities like this in greater abundance, a lot of people would surely die of anxiety a lot sooner. But I'm angry, and I'm prepared to call the Department of Consumer Protection and tell them that they're making so many errors, and they are giving me so much grief, that I wonder sometimes whether or not they're trying to confuse me into overpaying them. Now, my mind is a little bit muddled by benzodiazepines, as I've told you, but it's not that muddled. It's not to the point where it's the equivalent of a senile old man, although some of you may think so, something worse than senile. But more importantly, my question is, when you are an old and rather senile man or woman, and you get billed and snowed like this by these entities, how in the world do people deal with this stuff? Is there a special type of service, a special type of accountant or attorney or somebody who handles these kinds of problems and handles people's medical conundrums like this for them, just manages their payment? I guess it would be an accountant. And I think I'd better start looking for one, because it doesn't seem they're listening to me that much. But I think that is part of their strategy. I honestly do. Part of their strategy is to confuse their patients or the people whom they've served into overpaying. And I'm not going to bite. I told them, now you send me paper statements showing every detail, and then I'll pay you, and I'll keep those statements in case I ever need to use them in court. Hopefully I'll stay away from that kind of problem. But I am, right now, I made a video the other day about spreading positive energy. It would seem that calling the Department of Consumer Protection and sicking them on this particular entity would be spreading negative energy, until I realize that if they're doing that to a lot of people, it might be spreading positive energy, even if I use what appears to be negative energy to stop them, or slow them down at least, or make them think twice. There's the paradox of positive energy, and that's what I'm entitling this video. The paradox of positive energy. Sometimes you have to slash with the sword of truth in order to do the service that you need to do to render positive energy to the universe. Sometimes you need to hurt people in order to help a greater number. I don't know. The other factor that goes into all of this is that my time is limited. I have work to do, I have things to do, and I'm not sure I have time to go around kicking people's asses because they're treating me as if they want to trick me into overpaying them. I think maybe I'll just be real slow. And if they ever actually take any action against me that's not justified and based on inaccurate bills, then I might go to some other kind of attorney besides the Attorney General of the state of Dakota Territory. Well, it's not a state yet, it's just a territory. Isn't that right? Stan Gibilisco saying, peace out, peace to those of you who render goodwill to people, and out for you people who intend to trick other people and defraud other people. Until next time, so long.